Hello everybody, my name is Rainer and this is my wonderful booktube channel Rainier Books. I speak about books here, about awards, I do single reviews, and sometimes also I speak about the world outside of the pages. So I have read Tony Tulathimute's book Rejection, Fiction, which is a collection of 7 loosely intertwined pieces of short fiction. Tulathimute's debut came in 2016 with the novel Private Citizens, which was called A Comedy of Manners and compared to Middlemarch by George Eliot, since both books deeply explore its era and milieu. Rejection is called fiction by its author, and it could be both a novel or a collection of short stories, a term that the author has not applied to Rejection. The protagonists, again, as in Private Citizens, are millennials, people who were born between 1980 and 1995, who seem to share a few things with each other: a deep, desperate loneliness, a desire to be seen, loved, and desired, and also the common experience of getting rejected in one or another way. Rejection starts with The Feminist, a piece of prose that was already published in 2019 in the magazine The New Yorker and probably led to the writing of 6 other stories. The Feminist is a character who describes himself as a man who has always been an ally to girls and women, but who has almost always gotten rejected by them and never came into question as a sexual partner. However, the protagonist seems to play the feminist in order to win points with women and get closer to them, but he never really succeeds in doing so. First, he sees feminist language and ideals as a means of ingratiating himself with women, leveraging his wokeness as a way to gain favor, attention, or intimacy. But as he repeatedly experiences rejection, his attitude hardens and he gets more and more negative and almost hateful towards women. The final image of the story is really disturbing, and I wonder what you would expect to happen after the curtain falls if you have read Rejection. The Feminist lays the groundwork for the whole book, not only the themes of loneliness, the internet, sexual attractions and rejections, but also the tone and the approach of the book. In Pigs, Tulathimutte focuses on a woman that briefly shows up in The Feminist. Her sexual encounter with a man she performs oral sex on, and he making a picture of that moment, is with her for weeks, months and years, and this act has different meanings for both of these people. While it almost obsesses Alison, who wants to start a relationship with her friend who turned into a one-night stand lover, he regarded the sex just like one of those things. Rejection is full of millennials dealing with their insecurities, their loneliness, their sexual desires, and social media. There are lots of dildos, sex dolls, sperm, masturbation to get through, and that of course creates a warning to sensible and sensitive readers. After the first 3 stories, I have to say I got really tired, and despite the fact that the characters are different or have different situations and issues to cope with, I found the book to be quite repetitive and frankly boring, since nothing really new occurred and none of the characters was really likable to me. The characters have an intense need for intimacy, validation and connection, but they are also deeply isolated, unable to bridge the gap between themselves and others in a meaningful way. The language is observing, it is sharp, it is intellectual, and sometimes describing moments of very dark comedy, and you're almost laughing. So after The Safekeep by Jelle van der Wouden, Rejection by Tony Tulathimutte was a downer for me. Self-absorbed and at times repellent characters and one story after another led to a downbound spiral of rejection and obsession, which ultimately made me reject the book a little bit. Not a great read for me. Maybe for you. Tell me everything about your reading experience in the comments down below, and off to the next one. I see you soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.